Hello everyone, my name is Satvik and welcome back to another Python programming video. So today in this video we are going to discuss about loops. So first of all, let's discuss about the loops in general terms. We all have seen a circle. If we start from a very specific point in a circle and start moving in its boundary, then after some time we will reach to that point from where we have started. So this is a kind of loop. In computer science, a loop is a programming structure that repeats a sequence of instruction until a specific condition is met. So we have two kinds of loop, the for loop and the while loop. And in this video we are going to discuss about for loop. A for loop is a control flow statement for specifying iteration which allows code to be executed repeatedly. I know this much definition is not sufficient for you to understand what do you mean by loop. For this we will take an example. First of all, we will take a list. A is equal to, we will take a list of some alphabets. So this is our list A, and in this list we want to iterate through the every single element in this list. First we are going to do apply for x in A. We want to print x. So first of all, let's discuss about the syntax. So we have a list A and we want to iterate through the every single element in this list. We apply for loop and we have a variable x. So what is this x? So x is a variable which is going to be a placeholder for every single item in your iterable object. So it is going to iterate through every single element in A and we are printing x. So it will give us the output Q, W, E, R, T and Y. So the one thing you should all keep in mind that you have to apply the colon at the end of for loop, otherwise it is going to give us error. So you all have to keep in mind about the indentation. You all should make indentation correctly, otherwise it is going to give us error. So when we are going to print, we are getting Q, W, E, R and T as the output. So now we are going to apply if and else break statement. First of all, we are going to apply if and break statement. How we are going to do? If x is equal to let's say E, then break. So what do you mean by this? With the break statement, we can stop the loop before it has looped through all the items. So it is going to print Q, W and E. When x reaches E, so we are having the break statement. So with the break statement, we can stop the loop before it has looped through all the items. So now what is going to be the output? So the output is Q, W and E. Let's check out. So the output is Q, W and E. Similarly, we have the continue statement. With the continue statement, we can stop the current iteration of the loop and continue with the next one. For example, if we apply the continue statement for the E, we will get output as Q, W. We will not get E, R and T because we have applied continue statement. But here you can see, but when you run this loop, you will get the whole Q, W, E, R, T as the output. Let's check. So why this is happening? Because we have applied the print statement before the continue statement. For getting the desired output, we have to apply the print statement after the continue statement. So now we will get Q, W, R and T as the output. So the next function is the range function. What is this? I will show you. For I in a range of x, we want to print I. So what is this? The range function returns a sequence of number starting from 0 by default and increment by 1 and ends at a specified number. Here in this case we have taken the range as 6, so it is going to give us the first number that we are getting as the output is 0 by default, and then we are incrementing by 1, which is also by default. So we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 as the output because the range is 6. So we are getting 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 as the output. So the next thing is the else part. The else keyword in for loop specify a block of code to be executed when the loop finishes. We can add else part, and in else part we want to print loop ends. So now when we run this, we are getting 1 2 3 0 1 2 3 4 5 and loop ends as the output. So the else keyword in for loop specifies a block of code to be executed when the loop finishes. Here in this case we are getting loops end as the output. So the next thing is the nested loop. Let's take an example of this. First we will take a list, say a is equal to, we will take a list of alphabets Q, W and E, and we will take another list as B is equal to, we will take a list of numbers 1, 2 and 3. Now we apply the nested loop for X in A and for Y in B, print X comma Y. So now what is nested loop? A nested loop is a loop inside a loop. A loop within a loop is called as the nested loop. So in this case, the inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. So what is going to be the output? Let's check. So the output is Q1, Q2, Q3, W1, W2, W3, E1, E2 and E3. Why? The inner loop will be executed one time for each iteration of the outer loop. So now let's assume a case in which we want to use this code in our, let's assume a case we are building a very big code, and in that code we want a small part, but we do not want it in right at the moment. So we cannot leave the loop as such. We are not adding the print statement and we cannot leave the loop as it is, because it is going to give us error when we are executing it. To avoid error, we can add pass statement. Pass statement is nothing but just avoid this loop and pass it. So it is not going to give us error and not going to give us any output. So this is the pass statement, which is very important when we are making a larger pieces of code. So now let's check for the even numbers with the help of let's first make a list. So this is a list of first 10 natural numbers, and we want only even numbers as the output. So we are first what we can do, for X in A, if, so what is the condition of even numbers? If a number is divided by 0 and its remainder is divided by 2 and its remainder is 0, so it is a even number. If X divided by 2, its remainder is 0, then we can say print X. So we are getting all the even numbers as the output, that is 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. And if we want to print the odd numbers, how we are going to do? Just say odd not equal to 0, then we will get all the odd numbers 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9. Similarly, we can print all the numbers in a reverse order. How we are going to do? For I in, let's say, range, we want to add 10 numbers. We want to start and end at 0, start from 10, end at 0 in a reverse order, and we want to print I. So we are getting all the elements in a reverse order. Let's take a list in which the elements are tuple. For example, A is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So we have a list, and inside a list we have tuples, and now we want to print it. For X in A, print X. We are getting 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6 as the output. But if we want to print the elements individually, how we are going to do? For X comma Y. For x comma y in A, what we want, print x and then print y. So what is going to be the output? So the output is 1 2 3 4 5 6. This is called as the tuple unpacking. You can see that all the tuples are unpacked, so this is called as the tuple unpacking. Now let's apply this in a list, a dictionary. We have D is equal to a dictionary. We have a key K1, and with this key corresponding element is 1. Another key K2, corresponding element is 3, and K3, whose corresponding element value is 4. For item in D, print item. Let's check what is going to be the output. So the output is K1, K2 and K3. By default, when you iterate through a dictionary, you only iterate through the keys, that is K1, K2 and K3. Now if we want to iterate through the items, how we are going to do? For item in D dot items, so you have to apply this, and when you apply this you will get K1, K2, K3 along with its value. So we are getting keys along with its values as the output. And now if you only want to print the value, how we are going to do? Key comma value in D dot items, we want to print value. We are getting 1, 3 and 4 as the output. We are not getting the keys. So this was all for today's video. This was all for loop. In the next video we will discuss about the while loop, and after that we will discuss some important questions about Python programming. And so this was all for today's video. Thanks for watching.